First off, I just want to give a little bit of thanks to everybody who either commented me on my Facebook wall and or sent me texts throughout the day for my birthday. So all of you, thank you. I will now take a moment to thank each and every one of you. And with that going on, I'm going to be giving this new hat a try. I know you're mainly used to me using this hat right here whenever I'm doing a video, but since my sister got me this one for the birthday, I'm going to give this a try. It has a little bottle opener on the bottom here, so we're going to see how it goes. So, I only got one shot at this. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to be opening another bottle of beer. So I got myself a bottle of Killian's Irish Red. So let's go for this. Almost. Aha! Success. So once again, I thank everybody for giving me some birthday wishes, and crack yourself open a beer. Cheers. Really, so yeah, last night was the Oscars. What better way to celebrate the birthday by finding out that none other than The Hurt Locker beating the graphical giant Avatar for Best Picture. I've not seen Avatar. I said this during my little roundup of my picks for it. I did not see Avatar, and I do plan on seeing it one of these days. Eventually, just so I can see what all the fuss is about. But you know what? The gritty war zone of Iraq beat out the beautiful surroundings of Pandora. That just kind of makes me laugh in a way, because it's also like a big FU to James Cameron as well, because his wife, his ex-wife, Catherine Bigelow, actually won for Best Director. And good for her, because that was a really good movie too. I mean, I just got a couple of things. I just have a couple of things that I need to just talk about. First off, that was a pretty good little homage to horror movies that they did too. And I was kind of wondering this, and I read a couple blogs online that said the same thing. They put a lot of movies that you wouldn't actually classify as horror. For some reason, my personal opinion here, I never thought that the movie The Shining was a horror film. It's more like a thriller, because it's not really someone slashing up the place or anything. It's a thriller. Come on. It's Jack Nicholson's character's descent into madness for being isolated at a hotel like that for a winter and stuff, and they had Edward Scissorhands, and I'm like, well, that's sort of the story of a person's isolation from the world because he's different. And also, for some reason, Twilight was in there. Don't know why that is, but I'm going to take another extra big long swig of beer for that one. But I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking about that Academy, but I'll let you pass with that. I mean, but also also for Best Score, they had interpretive dance, which just turned into more America's Next Top Dance Crew or something like that. I mean, I was just watching it, wondering if you were actually reading my tweets last night. It was my question. I'm like, really? And another thing that I actually saw that actually a friend pointed out that I kind of knew myself is that Avatar won for Best Cinematography. That kind of makes no sense when you're looking at it, because from what I've seen, Avatar is just a bunch of computer graphics. It's not really someone going okay, I need a shot up here, then we'll do it to down here. Nothing like that. There's better, I don't know. You want a good cinematography? Watch Lawrence of Arabia, one of the finest cinematography movies of all time, in my personal opinion as well. Maybe even you could see a little bit in Citizen Kane as well, but that's going beyond the point. I am very happy that Christoph Waltz actually He won for Best Supporting Actor, completely deserved it. He was one of the best things about Inglourious Basterds. A lot of people say, oh yeah, it's all this other stuff. But you know what? Christoph Waltz actually made it for me. And I remember in my other video that I actually said that I want Sandra Bullock to win. But then at the very end there, I was like saying, you know what? Maybe screw that. Meryl Streep for the win. No. I'm counting this as a win for me. Because I originally said Sandra Bullock in my review, and that was just an afterthought. So that counts as another win for me. Best Animated Feature, Up. Freaking good movie. I loved Up. That was a really good animated feature. I mean, I'm just a big fan of Pixar in general, and that just made me want to watch more Pixar movies, and keep on watching Pixar movies. I'll even show my kids that in the future. And it was just enjoyable. Other ones, like complete deserve. Like, I don't know. I forgot who I said for. I don't remember who I said. Oh wait, I said Jeremy Renner for Best Actor, but then it was given to Jeff Bridges. And I even joked that I was like, oh man, the dude's gonna get it. That would be pretty funny if he did. Sure enough, the dude got it. And I'm gonna completely say this. I'm gonna completely be a douche about this and say one thing: the dude abides. I know there's gonna be a lot of bandwagon Big Lebowski fans there, but I've been watching Big Lebowski for quite a few years. Prior to this, it's one of my favorite roles of Jeff Bridges. And he was also good in Iron Man as well. But I will always remember Jeff Bridges for being Jeff Lebowski, aka the Dude. So, another big swig of beer for him as well. I really don't remember who I said. I probably said Penelope Cruz for Best Supporting Actress, and they gave it to Monique. But I'm sorry, but the only times I actually do think of Monique is seeing the preview for Soul Plane and being the very stereotypical role in that movie. So I'm sorry, but I didn't, that's the whole thing that was kind of turned me away from it. And another thing, how freaking awesome was that? Neil Patrick Harris doing the opening number. Great. Just perfect. Just one of my favorite moments of the entire awards, and also it's good to see him back doing stuff, I mean, it's good to see him again. Now on to the hosts, Richard Gere and Steve Martin. I'm not too big of a fan of either of them, but they did an okay job, but they're no Billy Crystal. I'm sorry, but I think Billy Crystal is the bar. Here's the bar. Here's where they were, right down here. So, that's just my opinions, and I'm sticking to them. And until next year, I hope that Hollywood actually decides that 3D movies is not the way to go. Down and gritty live-action movies, that's where it's at. So, until next year, we'll see what happens over the next couple months and see what goes on. So, cheers.